Right now, it's round 2 for snow in Dane County, and several cities are already under a snow emergency as slippery roads cause messy commutes for area drivers. And breaking news right now as local health officials say hospitals are being pushed to their limits as COVID cases continue to surge. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Right now at noon, another round of snow. The snow is making a mess for drivers out on the roads. If you're headed out, be sure to drive carefully and give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. Today is an alert day as snow continues into the evening. Julian Seawright has a look at your certified most accurate forecast, and the snow is coming down.
That's right. The snow continues to come down, Mark, but we're going to first talk about our details in terms of the alert day. We're going to be looking at heavy snow at times throughout the course of this event. Wintry mix is going to look to roll in later into the afternoon with snow accumulations still between 1 to 5 inches, with some of that heaviest snowfall really into the north. But as we can see from our sky cam out into the capital, visibility is down and snow is definitely falling. 25 degrees as of right now with those winds blowing the snow. It's definitely dropping a lot of our visibility as we are continuing throughout the rest of our afternoon. So just know that with visibility being obscured, it's going to be quite treacherous along with the snow and slick roads. As we can see as of right now on our radar, that southern system is continuing to push north as we continue into the rest of our day. Right now, temperatures are 25 degrees in Madison, 30 in Janesville, with 28 in Platteville. So temperatures are struggling to get past the 20 or even close to the freezing point. But look at the visibility. It is very, very low. Some places aren't even looking at a mile, especially towards the west in terms of visibility. And with the wind speeds and mixing in with that snow, just know that visibility is not going to be improving throughout much of the day. It's going to be a long one for us, Mark.
Just take it easy out there.
Yep, absolutely. Take it slow and just use caution.
Absolutely. All right, Julian, see you in a few minutes. Let's take a look at the 511 map. You can see there are a few slippery stretches right now in northern Wisconsin. Here in Dane County, the roads aren't too bad as of yet, but there are a few accidents headed down towards Janesville. Several area cities are currently under a 24-hour snow emergency. That includes Evansville, Janesville, Fort Atkinson, and Marshall. A snow emergency means no parking is allowed on either side of the street. Violators could be fined. For more information, including where to move your vehicle, look for this story on our website, channel3000.com. And you can stay up to date on the latest snow emergencies and conditions in your area on our First Warn Forecast Weather app. It has hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. We have breaking news this noon. UW health officials say a recent surge in COVID cases is pushing the health system to its limit. Hospitals across Wisconsin are once again facing space and staff shortages. UW Health says they'll be cutting back on non-essential procedures because of a spike in COVID cases. They're also working on converting spaces to hold more COVID patients. Dr. Jeff Potoff says hospitals are reaching a dangerous point where there aren't enough resources to care for patients suffering from other inflictions like heart attacks, strokes, or car accidents. Local health officials are urging the public to get their COVID and flu shots. Yesterday, more than 543,000 new COVID cases were reported in the U.S. And with millions of Americans traveling home from the holidays, the CDC is taking steps that could help airlines keep up with their flight schedules. Deborah Alferone has the details.
The CDC is shortening the amount of time people have to quarantine after getting COVID.
The data suggests that with Omicron, you're most infectious a day or two before you get sick and for the first day or two after you've gotten sick.
The new guidance allows asymptomatic patients to only isolate for 5 days instead of 10. They should continue to wear a mask for another 5 days around others, and a negative test is not required to end isolation. Some have criticized the decision to not require a negative test.
CDC makes guidance and recommendations in the real world, not the world that we wish existed. And right now, there aren't enough tests.
The airline industry pushed for the changes because it's having problems staffing flights. Several hundred more flights have been canceled today. But the head of the Flight Attendants Union slammed the new guidance, saying if any business pressures a worker to return before they feel better, it will cause much greater disruption than any staffer shortages. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House's chief medical advisor, suggested over the weekend that vaccine mandates for airline passengers should be considered. He's now walking back those comments.
Right now, I don't think people should expect that we're going to have a requirement in domestic flights for people to be vaccinated.
Meanwhile, the CDC says it is actively investigating or observing 68 cruise ships following COVID-19 outbreaks on board. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
And the CDC says it only investigates cruise ships if cases are reported for more than 10% of its passengers. Well, Apple has temporarily closed its New York City stores due to the increase in COVID-19 cases. The company says it has closed 16 stores across the city to in-person shopping. Apple's Genius Bar tech support will also be unavailable. Customers can still place orders online and pick them up at stores. Apple's already temporarily closed stores in Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Ohio, Texas, and Georgia. Crews are investigating after a plane crashed into a neighborhood near San Diego. Authorities said firefighters found no survivors at the scene. It's unclear how many people were found and on board the plane. The sheriff's office said the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board will handle the crash investigation. Los Angeles police have released video evidence of an officer-involved shooting that killed a 14-year-old girl. It happened at a department store after officers responded to reports that a man with a gun was assaulting people. An officer confronted and shot the suspect, but also hit the girl. A bullet went through the wall of a dressing room where the teen was trying on clothes with her mother.
The agency, I'm sure, is going to investigate how 3 shots were fired with a long weapon. Only 1 hit the suspect, and maybe 1 that missed hit the innocent victim.
The officer who fired the rounds has been placed on paid administrative leave. After a long weekend off for the holidays, deliberations have now resumed in the Jalane Maxwell trial. Maxwell is the former longtime girlfriend and associate of late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So far, the jury has deliberated for just over 3 full days. Maxwell is facing 6 counts, including sex trafficking and up to 70 years in prison if convicted. Well, someone could kick off the new year as a multimillionaire. The Powerball has hit its 3rd highest jackpot of the year. There were no winners last night. That means the estimated jackpot increases to $441 million. The next Powerball drawing is tomorrow. If someone wins, they could receive a lump sum cash out of $317.5 million, or choose to receive the entire $441 million in 30 payments made over 29 years. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Workers in New Mexico will soon see a bit more money in their pockets, and holiday shoppers spent more money this year compared to last. Details coming up in your Money Watch report.
How much money have you wasted trying to find the right shade of foundation to match your skin tone? You end up with so many unused bottles, yet you can't bear to throw them out. Now, there's Color Beauty Self-Adjusting Foundation, which means you'll never search for the perfect shade again.
It's really difficult for me to find a good tone foundation. I usually purchase about 3 or 4 and sometimes mix them. Color Beauty is a game changer in finding the right foundation. You put it on your skin and it transforms into your own skin tone.
The Color Beauty foundation is so simple to put on. My skin looks great and it just looks awesome.
The key to the innovative Color Beauty formula is tiny color beads that release and blend to perfectly match your skin tone as you apply it. The foundation is white when it comes out of the bottle, but when I begin to apply it, it adjusts to blend perfectly with the color of my skin.
My biggest problem area is my cheeks right here. Color Beauty feels really light on my skin, and I can tell that it is pretty full coverage, so it looks like I don't have too much foundation on, but it is covering all my acne scars like I was saying before. I actually really love it.
It's weightless and it's full coverage, and also it literally just matches my skin as soon as I put it on. It's no work. I've never experienced a foundation like this.
Color Beauty only comes in 2 colors, light and medium. If you have fair skin or you burn easily, go with the light. If you have darker skin, go with the medium. Plus, with an SPF of 50, they're getting the highest level of sun protection in a lightweight formula. And best of all is Color Beauty's exclusive special. Order this New Year's and get 40% off. That means you'll get the color adjusting foundation, the skin smoothing primer, and the fan favorite lash enhancer for thicker, longer looking lashes at 40% off. Plus, get free shipping. Visit color40.com or call the number on your screen.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pill after pill that just masks your ED. Fix it for good. We can make the difference. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Every accident is different. Different driving conditions, different injuries, different life circumstances. The insurance companies often use these circumstances to avoid paying you what you deserve. At Gruber Law Offices, we know how insurance companies can take advantage after an accident. Trust our experience and history of successfully helping our clients. And remember, there is never a fee until we win. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television.
Well, experts say consumers spend more this year compared to last year. Monica Ricks has your Money Watch report.
Stocks ended higher following the long Christmas weekend. The Dow rose 351 points, the Nasdaq added 217, and the S&P added 65. Apple stores in the New York City area are temporarily closed to in-person shoppers due to rising COVID-19 cases. Apple says it'll still let customers place orders online and pick them up at stores. Bloomberg reports stores have been temporarily closed in D.C., Ohio, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. No word on when they're set to reopen. Workers in New Mexico will soon see a bit more money in their pockets. The hourly minimum wage there is set to increase by $1 to $11.50 at the start of the new year. President Biden wants to raise the federal minimum wage from $7.25 to $15 in 2022. And holiday shoppers spent more money this year compared to last, according to a MasterCard Spending Pulse report. It indicates sales rose 8.5%, with electronics, jewelry, and clothing being this year's hottest gifts. Analysts say it's a sign consumers have no issue spending despite the pandemic. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. I'm Monica Ricks, CBS News, New York.
Checking Wall Street at the noon hour, the Dow Industrials up 35 points. The Nasdaq, however, down 92. The S&P 500 is off a little more than 8. Well, coming up next at noon, we'll share your latest ag numbers. Plus, Julian will be back with your full First Warn forecast as more snow continues to blanket the area.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized New Year sale on now at Waunakee Furniture ETC. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted furniture that's right for you.
Happy New Year! Make organizing your home your first New Year's resolution with Menard Storage Products. Start by organizing your wardrobe with Dakota Closets, fully customizable wooden closet systems. Or add Dakota decorative shelving. You'll get a $1 rebate for every foot purchased. Seal up your holiday decorations or other valuables with storage crates and totes. And keep them all organized with a new shelving unit. Menards has all the storage solutions to simplify your life inside and out.
Save big money at Menards.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized New Year sale on now at Waunakee Furniture ETC. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted furniture that's right for you.
Happy New Year!
The community held her close after an explosion took her husband's life.
Josh Bryder shows us how Abby Barr is moving forward and giving back to Sun Prairie.
And we could be seeing more light snow in our forecast. We'll have that from 4:30 to 7 tomorrow morning.
Wisconsin Politics 2021.
What genuinely surprised you this year?
News 3 Now's Naomi Coles leads a panel of state political journalists to help make sense of a chaotic year and preview what's to come in 2022, starting Wednesday at 6. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report out of the radio barn this week. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Here's Julian with the snow as it continues to fall.
That's right. It continues to fall. It's only begun in the last hour here, and we're going to be expecting this to last throughout the rest of today. Our alert day is in effect for heavy snow at times, but it's definitely going to be seeing snowfall throughout the course of today with wintry mix, and snow accumulations are still between 1 and 5, but we could see that overachieve in some areas throughout today because of the dynamics of this system. We have a winter weather advisory for all of southern Wisconsin until tonight. Some areas to the far northwest about 6 p.m., but for the most part, we are going to be holding into midnight until we have that winter weather advisory looking to expire from the National Weather Service. And this is what we're seeing. It's just a giant mess on our radar as of right now. This system, very potent and very dynamic. It's just bringing in heavier bands of snow coming in from the south, and it's starting to impact areas just outside of Grant County, as we can see as of right now. But it's now really starting to be more of the lighter snow into Dane County. But we are going to be seeing more of that heavier snowfall on its way, and it's going to just continue to blanket Wisconsin as we continue throughout the rest of our Tuesday. Now, as we go into what we're going to be expecting, really is the big takeaway is going to be our impacts going into our evening commutes. As we can see, heavier bands of snow will start to develop, even though temperatures will try ever so slightly to reach above the freezing point. And when they do, like here in Madison, we can see just about into the southwestern portion of Dane County, that's where that wintry mix will start to factor in. And we mentioned it on our live earlier today that once that wintry mix factors in with the heavier snow, we're looking at quite treacherous road conditions throughout the evening commutes, especially going into tonight. Now, we are going to be looking at the system to start to die off as we head into the later part of this night, but however, the evening-wise is going to be sticking around. Now, here's an update onto our new snow totals of what we're looking at. We're looking at about 3 to 5, maybe even more snow into the areas into the northwest. And for Dane County, and a bit to the west or even a bit north, we're looking at about 2 to 5 inches of snow. And about near Janesville, we can see about 1 to 3 inches of snow. Now, this for us could be, once again, one of those overachieving type of systems and events for us. So that's what we're going to be keeping our eye on. We could also be seeing some ice starting to develop in some areas, especially mainly into the south. 26 degrees as of right now here in Madison with eastern winds at 13 miles per hour, which is definitely factoring into our visibility being very, very obscured. As we can see, very poor conditions in terms of visibility, not even a mile here in Madison, Monroe, or into the areas to the west as well. So expect that throughout much of the day. The winds are going to stay close to the breezy side, and that snow is going to continue to fall. It's going to be very hard to see anything outside. And on top of that, we have the snow and wintry mix just just know that the road conditions are going to continue to deteriorate and be very poor throughout the course of today. Now, if you're going to be planning out the rest of this evening, just know it's going to be snowy, it's going to be very cloudy, and it's going to be cold as well. And just keep an eye out for when that snow starts to transition slightly into that ice heading into the later part of today. But after today, we have a shot of seeing one more round of some light snow heading into Wednesday. Then we're going to be drying out into Thursday and Friday, welcoming in the new year with colder temperatures and one more day of some snow for at least the forecast as of right now. But other than that, we are going to be seeing some brutal temperatures rolling in on Sunday, 12 degrees with breezy winds that will drop us into well below 0 mark. But we got to get out of here today before we can start to welcome in the new year with some colder temperatures that look to stay for the next few days.
Quite a mess out there.
You know, it is quite a mess.
All right, Julian, thank you. Howard is working on a comfort dish in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
One of the requests we get from so many of you is for easy casseroles that are budget-friendly. Well, we've been listening. That's why today we're whipping up an old-fashioned cottage pie that's cozy and satisfying. The first thing we do is saute some chopped onions in butter until they start to brown. Then we cook some lean ground beef in the same pan as the onions, seasoning it with some salt and pepper, breaking it up as it cooks. Once the meat is browned, we add in a jar of beef gravy and let that simmer. This gets spooned into a casserole dish, and we top it with some mashed potatoes that we mix with a bit of shredded cheddar. As for the potatoes, these can be homemade, leftover, or even easier, the refrigerated kind that we find in our dairy aisle. Now we'll pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes. And when the top is golden and the filling is piping hot, it's done. I know you're thinking, how could something so easy look so good? This is the kind of meal you want to have ready when the weather gets a bit cooler and you start craving something warm and comforting. To get the recipe for what we call our easy cheesy cottage pie, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a supermarket shortcut way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Coming up, we speak with UW Health clinical dietitian Michelle Swader about eating for the climate. That's coming up.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
So this New Year's, if you have yellowing between your teeth or coffee stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes or an hour, and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This new year, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. Get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
After an accident, if you want to win, time is not on your side. Every second you wait, the less your case may be worth. which is why what you do next is critically important. You may have only one chance to get this right. So put a powerful law firm on your side, one the insurance companies have dealt with before. Call Hupy and Abraham right now. Tell the insurance company you mean business.
Well, eating for the climate is the topic of this month's health segment today. UW Health clinical dietitian Michelle Swader is back with us. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
So what are we talking about when you're eating for the climate?
Right. Well, a lot of people think about reducing their carbon footprint by conserving electricity and driving a more efficient car. But there's actually a lot of things that are healthy for yourself and the environment at the same time. And so I picked out a few that you might want to roll into your New Year's resolutions.
What kind of changes can people make to their diets to help the environment?
I think the first biggest one is not to buy extra food. You know, we talk about not wasting food, but if we don't buy it in the first place, we don't have to waste it. Not only is all the energy used to make it, but if it ends up in the landfill, it actually releases methane, which is another greenhouse gas. And if we don't try to waste it, then we try to eat it, which could mean an excess for us. So really the best thing you could do is be smart when you plan your grocery list and really just think about what you absolutely need.
What foods are tougher on the environment than others?
Well, it is the meats and the dairies. So if you're looking at anything from meats to eggs to cheese, you are not only using the energy to feed and maybe even heat those animals in the winter, but their carbon dioxide and their waste also contributes to the methane and the greenhouse gas. So we're looking at maybe doing a little bit more plant-based protein. It still takes some energy to make, but it doesn't take as much energy to sustain. And by using seeds, nuts, tofu, things like that, you can replace at least some of your meals. We're not expecting everybody to do it all the time, but every little change can help.
I was going to say that's a tough sell to give up meat and dairy.
It is, especially in the dairy state, but if we can do a little thing, and that's what we look at with nutrition too. We're not expecting people to completely change everything starting on January 1st, but if we can make some small changes in our diet, make some small changes for the climate, that's actually what we're trying to do in both situations.
So kind of make a list, would that help?
Yeah, definitely planning your grocery list, planning your meals and snacks to have on hand can definitely be helpful so you don't get into the store, get distracted by something, and overbuy.
Shop the outside of the store, right?
Yep, that's where you're going to find all the fresh produce, and some of the nuts and seeds you're going to find in the aisles, but technically around the edges is where to go.
And you don't have to go all in on this. You can do it gradually, right?
Exactly. There's a lot of people who will do like one vegetarian dinner. They like to look at buying local, buying seasonally. That is another way to reduce your carbon footprint. And so again, we're not expecting everybody to do this a lot, but little changes are how things start, and the more you gain confidence in some of these changes, the easier that they'll be.
And buy locally too. That'll reduce the footprint.
Mm-hmm. You definitely don't have to pay and have the carbon emissions to get them shipped. It is a little bit harder to eat local in the winter and seasonally, so we want to make sure we're doing what we can. And if we're trying to grow something locally that's not seasonally, then you're having to heat the greenhouse, maybe use more fertilization, and so the local and the seasonal are key there too.
The seasonal is the key in that point. All right, well, good advice. One step at a time. Do what we can to help the planet and eat healthier in the new year. Michelle, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And here's Julian now with one final look at the forecast.
And we're going to start that off by looking at our radar as of right now. Just a quick update of what we're seeing. We're seeing some more of that snow starting to come in. Remember, folks, this is a southern system, so all of it is rolling in from the south, which is starting to bring in much more heavier snow towards areas like Platteville and Monroe as we're continuing throughout the rest of our afternoon. Now, what we're going to be seeing is that it will start to taper off late. Until then, we're looking at periodic heavy snow bands throughout the course of the day that will be setting up, but once we get into tonight, it's then going to look to clear out. This is what we're looking at in terms of our snowfall potential: 3.5 to the north and 2.5 here for Dane County. Thank you all for joining us, and we will have more for you at 4.